is Crick Buzz at Stumps at Adelaide Oval with Adam Collins, and I'm finally at long last back with Harsha Bhogle on a day where India scrapped back in after throwing it away. They throw away the advantage of the toss, losing 4 wickets before lunch. Pujara, magnificent 100, but really 2 wonderful pieces of Australian fielding set the tone of the day. One at the start and one at the end.
How good was that catch from Usman Khawaja? I was told when I came to Australia that Australia, just pick any Aussie, he'll be a great fielder. But Usman Khawaja is the weak link in that Australian fielding side. And he was like, you know what happened to the gulls here? There used to be gulls here. He flew like one of those and came down with the ball. It was as good as that. It could well be. I mean, who knows what it would be on the 7th of January. But just as the Malan catch changed the way Virat Kohli batted in England, who knows, this Khawaja catch might just have a big bearing on the series.
One of the great catches, removing Kohli before he was set. Pat Cummins now has picked him up 2 times in 4 balls that he's bowled to him in Test cricket, remarkably after Ranchi last year. And then the run out that Cummins executed at the end of the day to remove Pujara on 123. The job was largely done, but he was like Temba Bavuma. Whole body off the ground, 1 stumps away in that. 39 degrees out here, Harsha. He bowled 19 overs himself. It was a spectacular piece of fielding from Patrick Cummins.
Except that he's about 6 times bigger than Temba Bavuma in either dimension. But I'm glad you brought up the point of the 39 degrees, because he'd bowl, 22 overs in that heat. Is a big fellow charging in, and then he's an athlete. We all know he's an athlete. But then to come as quickly as he did to the ball, he was almost off balance. Didn't throw base of the stump, hit right at the top of the stumps, was just an example of athleticism. I think the big difference between England and here is it, and we mentioned the catch that Khawaja took and the run out of Cummins. I thought the first catch by Aaron Finch, he made it look a lot easier. The ball was flying. There's another very good catch by Peter Handscomb. So Australia just got everything, except that the one they caught, they didn't believe they had caught, and that was the difference for Pujara.
That's right, he's on 89. They should have gone upstairs, but they didn't.
It's Pujara, the good boy Aussies. What's wrong? It's the good boy Aussies. Even if you nick it, we won't go up in appeal. And what was the old Aussies doing? Even if you don't nick it, we'll appeal.
Get stuck in here. That's right. It was his 16th Test 100, 3rd against Australia. The last 2 times that Pujara went to 3 figures against Australia, he doubled up and went large. Didn't do that today, but what a stoic hand. So controlled, so patient after his colleagues badly let him down in the first session.
Now, when we were in England, you said when you play innings like this, you've got to do something like, just hold it.
We still got it, Harsha.
Ah, you got it. What's it called? The mic drop.
Mic drop.
The mic drop. You can have your mic again. I know you're afraid of the cube.
This was an ongoing theme of our conversations in England, what to do with the microphone, but back in my hand now.
I was so happy for Pujara because, you know, when we were growing up, we were told the greatness of Test match cricket lies not just in winning and losing, but in the resilience, in the tenacity, in conceding space to the opposition and saying, yes, you're on top just now, but you know what, I'll ride this. I'll just hang in there. Maybe I'll play and I'll hang in there. I'll wait for my time to come. That's what life is about, isn't it? When hardship comes your way, you wait and you wait and you wait. And I thought this was absolute the gold standard of Test match batting. He played close to his body. He wasn't going out to meet the ball on the next lane on the road like the first 4 guys were doing. And I'm just so happy for Pujara because this is what Pujara is. He doesn't get the fancy IPL contracts. He doesn't come down the wicket and play a reverse scoop over somewhere else. So this was just good old-fashioned Test match batting from a good old-fashioned nice guy.
We saw Virat Kohli batting in his nets before the Test match and the adulation there. He was one of those 4 batsmen that did go early. Let's unpack this a wee bit before we sign off. What were they thinking? Winning the toss in those beautiful conditions here inside of Adelaide Oval, a track that was always going to get better as the day went on. The Australian bowlers getting some lateral movement. Why are they playing at balls 1.5 foot outside the off stump?
And there you go, what was from 40 for 4, it was 50 odd for 4 at lunch, and then the next session was 90 for 2.
Yep.
Straight away, this Kookaburra ball, the seam hates the ball. Or rather, the seam loves the ball so much it merges within it, but it hates the bowlers. And as the ball gets older, it becomes easier and easier to bat. And I mean, if they just conceded an hour, as Sunil Gavaskar keeps saying, give an hour, take the next 5. They conceded that. Who knows? This could have been 280 for 4. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if somewhere they thought, this is a defensive Australian side, let's get stuck into them early, let's play our shots. I don't know, because the ball wasn't swinging as much as it did in England. They were just reaching out for those shots.
And you mentioned that middle session. I have to ask you about Rohit Sharma's dismissal. 6 and Out was a rock group in Australia, formed with a few cricketers, including Brett Lee in the 1990s. And it was 6 and Out here today as well. 6 over the rope, nearly caught by Marcus Harris. Next ball, the identical shot. Catching practice, what doing?
What are you talking about? It's erased from my hard disk. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I've been a Rohit Sharma fan, and I've been exasperated watching Rohit Sharma bat because I really rate him as a batsman. And there he was. He's come up to 30, and he's letting the ball go through. He's pulling. How good was the cover drive for 6? Yeah. And I thought, right, Rohit Sharma is going to find himself in Australia the way VVS Lakshman did in Australia. Likes the ball coming on, good bounce. And then that scoop, he should really have been caught. These days, those catches are taken. You just throw the ball back in, come back in and take it. And then the next one, I don't know. Have we all done silly things in life?
Yeah, I know we have, but that felt on the harder edge of silly from Rohit Sharma.
It
So all told, 250 for 9 at the close.
Toe in the door.
Most certainly Australia's day, but a good fight back from India. A classic 100 there from Pujara, as I mentioned, the 16th in Test cricket. And it's so wonderful to be back riding shotgun with Harsha Bhogle at Crick Buzz at Stumps. We'll talk to you throughout the series and tomorrow on day 2 at Adelaide Oval.